Hey guys, it's Chad with Beverage Professor, the channel designed to teach you about all things alcohol. Hey, today I'm going to talk about 5 white spirits that you probably have already heard of, but maybe just never knew what the differences were. Okay, so because if you pour these in a glass, they're all clear and they all look the same. So, but they would have some different smells and aromas. But anyway, I'm going to teach you just a little bit about what makes them different from each other. And then we're going to make a drink, one really strong drink that uses all of these as the ingredients. Okay, so now if you've bartended before, you're probably sitting there going, I know exactly what drink that is because I've made it over and over again. Because I know when I bartended, I made it over and over and over again because it was those people that came in, they wanted to get drunk really fast, they needed something with the highest alcohol, and so this is what I made for them. All right. Let's get started. So the first spirit that we're going to talk about is vodka. Vodka consists mostly of water, about 60% water, and ethanol. It's made by the distillation of a fermented substance such as grain, which would be rye or wheat, potatoes, corn, sugar beet, molasses, or grapes. It could be made from just about anything, but it's usually made from one of those, and most of the brands that are on the market today are use one of those ingredients. It's basically, it is odorless and flavorless in its just straight form, okay? Now I know you've seen products out there that are lemon vodkas and all these different flavors and all that. Now yes, there are flavors of vodka, but in its just straight form, it's odorless and flavorless. So that's why it's such a great mixer. If you mix it with cranberry juice, you basically are just tasting the cranberry juice, or any other added, anything you mix it with, it's just going to take on that character. Next is tequila. I know we've all had tequila. There's been those nights. We've had some tequila nights. I know I can remember one of mine. But anyway, tequila is a product of Mexico, and it's made from the blue agave plant. The plant looks like it'd be a cactus or like some type of cactus, but it's actually a part of the lily family. It's hard to believe, but it is. There's two main types of tequila. There's the 100% blue agave and there's mixto tequilas. Mixto contains a minimum of 51% agave sugar in the ingredients, and the remaining 49% can come from other sugars. Other products that are allowed are caramel color, oak extract, glycerin, and sugar-based syrup. And then there's 100% blue agave. All tequila made with 100% blue agave will have on the label, usually it'll say 100% de agave, like this one does here. And with the 100% agave tequilas, you have a few different types. Now, we're talking about the silver, so this would be the Blanco, and this is aged only, if aged at all, only up to 2 months. Okay, so this is basic pure tequila coming right out of the still and very little aging. All right, where tequila starts to take on its color is when we start aging it in wood barrels, for the most part, with the exception of some of the cheaper ones. Like I said, if they add caramel coloring or something, they may take on a golden color. But these, so like there's different stages. You have reposado, which is aged from 2 months to a year, and that'll take on just a little color. So if you looked at these side by side, you would see the differences in the color as we get more oak aging. And then there is añejo, which is aged a minimum of 1 year and up to 3 years. Okay, and then there's extra añejo, which is anything over 3 years. Next, rum. Rum is made from sugarcane byproducts, typically sugarcane juice, molasses, that's the most common one, and cane syrup. Okay, and then we're talking straight silver rum here, right? But if rum starts to age in barrels, again, it'll start taking on color. Next, we're going to talk gin. And gin starts with making basically a neutral grain spirit. Then botanicals are added during the distillation process to give the unique taste and aroma of gin. The main botanical that is associated with gin is the juniper berries. Juniper berries give that gin the characteristic, that piney, woody smell and taste. In order to be classified a gin in the United States, the spirit has to contain a minimum of 40% alcohol and juniper. Other botanicals that they can include into this, and there's others as well, but some that may be coriander, lemon peel, almonds, orris root, angelica, licorice, cassia bark, cuba berries, and the list can go on and on. Now, the next one is triple sec. Now, you're going to say, okay, Chad, that's not really a liquor, it's a liqueur. Yeah, it's a liqueur, okay? But it's orange flavored liqueur, and it's usually about 20 to 25% ABV. There's some more premium triple secs out there that might have a higher alcohol. You might catch some around 40%. And then there's some other orange flavored liqueurs that are used like a triple sec as well. For instance, Grand Marnier is, I think, a cognac base, and it has about 40% ABV as well. Triple sec is usually made from a mix of sweet and bitter orange rinds that are steeped in spirit derived from sugar beet. All right, that's our differences between the 5 spirits. Now, let's make our drink. So we're gonna make a Long Island iced tea out of all of these. The Long Island iced tea, I don't know, there was 2 different stories of who created it. There was some guy who was a illegal, basically a bootlegger back in the day, who claims that he created it. But the recipe that they had for that one was not like we make it today, so I'm kind of not going with that story. I'm going to go with the story that in 1972, a guy named Robert Rosebud Butt in Long Island, New York, created the drink at some, I can't even remember the name of the place. But anyway, we're going to go with his story. He's the one who created this because it's basically the same drink now that we make today. So let's get started. We're going to basically use every one of these in 3/4 of an ounce. Now, if you want to make it a little less strong, you can go a 1/2 ounce. You could bring the liquor down a little bit and then add a little bit more of the mix, okay? And we'll get to all that. Our vodka. So 3/4 of an ounce of vodka. 3/4 of an ounce of tequila. And then 3/4 of an ounce of rum. And then 3/4 of an ounce of gin. And 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec. I'm going to make it, I know some bars, back even when I was bartending stuff too, we would use sweet and sour mix or whatever and pour it in there. It's the powdered mix, and you just use a 3/4 of an ounce of it or a little more maybe on the mix. I'm going to actually, if you're making it at home, it's best use some fresh squeezed lemon juice. So I'm going to go 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And then I'm going to actually, just to make it, a little sweeter than that on the lemon juice, we're going to put some simple syrup, 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup as well. And again, simple syrup, if you don't know this, it's basically 1 part sugar, 1 part water, bringing it to a simmer, to a boil a little bit, or just a simmer, and then let it and stir it a little bit and let it cool, and that's it. So I use 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of water, put it in a pan, bring it to some heat, stir it occasionally, and there we go. We have simple syrup. And then I just pour it into a previously used bottle. This one's a Villa One tequila bottle, and save it. Put it in my refrigerator and use it. And then I'm going to go ahead and shake this. Now there's one more ingredient to this, so I'm going to shake this up there just a little bit to get to make this a little more consistent, because otherwise you're just going to have all these liquors in a glass, and then you have to stir it up, and it can make it pretty strong. So now I've shaken it, and I'm going to just pour it back in my glass. You can also, if you want, you can put new ice into your glass and strain the drink into the new ice, so it's not as watered down. It might water it down a little bit now, and then our last ingredient is a little bit of Coca-Cola. So You don't want to put too much, but probably another 3/4 of an ounce. Just so you don't want it to get really brown. You just want a little bit of color, not a lot. You don't want it to get dark. And then you can just garnish. I'm going to garnish with a lemon. I've seen some people garnish with limes. We're just going to put a little lemon in there. And there is your Long Island iced tea. And you can't tell that there is that much alcohol in there. I mean, it tastes sweet to me, and there's a lot of liquor in this drink. All right, guys. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this and got a little bit of information out of it. Hey, if you're getting good information out of this and you liked it, please press the like button. Tell your friends. Hit the subscribe button. That would be wonderful. Please subscribe to the channel. And, hey, catch me on another video. I appreciate it, guys. You can also follow me on Instagram at Beverage Professor, and I'll teach you some more on that site. All right, thanks. Until next time, we'll see you.